There is an indispensable tool in all walks of life known as language. It is common to find terminologies in different fields that aid in expressing thought and ideas. In a baking world, it is paramount for you as a baker to be proficient in communication prowess and relating with fellow bakers and clients. This is proof that you are a professional in your field of endeavor. A number of these terminologies are being used from day to day. Have you ever heard of a geometric cake? This is Baker's World on NTA, your #1 baker's show on television. I am Funke Oyele. Thanks for watching. Our guest baker is a pleasant woman who's passionate about discovering talent in children. Our conversation segment will let you more into her world. We also have for you baker's gist and so much more on the program today. Don't go anywhere. On our Let's Bake segment, our guest baker, Adiza, and assistant will take us through the process of making a delicious marble cake, which will be used to create an Islamic art design. It's surely going to be a delightful learning experience. Let's see how it goes. Over to our baker now.
We will be making a vanilla and red velvet marble cake. But before we start making our recipe, we need to wash our hands properly to stay safe. To make our recipe, we need to sort out our ingredients. We have flour and baking powder sieved. We have eggs, margarine, sugar, vanilla flavor, a cup of milk, and red food coloring. We need to pour in our sugar and butter into the mixer and mix until light and fluffy. You scrape the bowl between intervals. Our butter and sugar is light and fluffy. We'll add flavoring to our eggs and then beat. Okay. After beating your eggs, you add in your eggs and alternate with flour. The next procedure after mixing our batter is to spread some portion and color. We'll pour in our red food coloring. After pouring the white vanilla butter, then you add in your red. Then you pour in the vanilla butter again, and then you tilt your pan, then you ensure your butter is leveled. Then you preheat your oven and take in your pan to bake the cake.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I walked a long way. I walked straight on a road of roses. I passed through the roses. I talked with the roses. How nice you smell. I wish I could stay with you forever. Ramadan is like a rare flower that blossoms once a year, and just as you begin to smell its fragrance, it disappears for another year. Ramadan is a time to empty your stomach and feed your soul. It is a time to develop good habits and do away with the bad ones. Live life like Ramadan is every day, and the hereafter will be your Eid. Eid Mubarak, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
To train children, you have to be their mother and also a teacher. You have to give them that confidence to see you as their mother. They should be able to talk to you when they come for training, because if they don't have confidence talking to you, some of them might not be able to understand what you are teaching, and at the end of the day, the parents will not see the impact of what you have taught the children.
Our guest baker today is a pleasant and creative sugarcraft artist. Hadiza Yaman Abdulkader is an indigene of Bida, Niger State. Born into the family of engineer Yaman Nupe on the 21st of August 1982, she had her early education at Mao Primary School in Minna, Niger State from 1989 to 1994. Hadiza attended Federal Government College, Kwali in Abuja, where she obtained a senior secondary school certificate from 1994 to 2000. This gentle and meticulous baker also bagged a diploma and bachelor degree in business administration, both at the University of Abuja in 2002 and 2006 respectively. Hadiza Yaman Abdulkader is a self-taught baker who has been able to develop amazing recipes by reading wide and experimenting what she learned on her own. Hadiza put together her childhood experience in the kitchen, plus her passion for baking, and turned these into a viable baking business in 2012. As a result of her compelling desire for raising young generations of bakers, Hadiza Abdulkader published My Skills to Adulthood, a children's training guideline book. She has trained over 100 children in summer classes in 4 years. Her brand, Cravings and Bites, has come up with creative and appealing designs in sugarcraft for milestone celebrations within and outside Abuja. She is happily married to Sule Abdulkader and blessed with 3 children. Join us as we take our chats with this intelligent and patient baker, Hadiza Yaman Abdulkader.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Baker's World on NTA. Our guest baker is here with me. Madam, it's a pleasure to have you on Baker's World.
My pleasure to meet you too.
You studied business administration in school. So I guess it's not so far-fetched that you will want to own your own business. Now, tell me, why did you decide that owning a baking business is the way to go for you?
Actually, since when I was a child, I've always explored the kitchen because I spent most of my holidays with my grandmom, and she always put us through doing a lot of things in the kitchen. My mom also read food and nutrition in her university days, so she had a lot of cookery books. Sometimes I pick those books and try to practice 1 or 2 recipes on my own. And it was interesting when I finish practicing a recipe and it comes out good, especially the baking aspect. After my service here, the cake business was trending, and it was something I actually wanted to do too. So I ventured into baking.
I know you love training children, and you know that's not always very easy. Tell me, share with me your experience and what inspired you to start training children in how to bake.
Actually, there was a friend of mine who told me her daughter always wants to learn how to bake. And she told me if I could take her one-on-one training at home. And I told her to bring her daughter over. So I trained her, and she was happy with the outcome. So from there, I felt since she has already brought her daughter, it was an opportunity that I could train other kids too. I think it's part of me too, to teach other people just like my mom does. I'm always choosing my recipes. Most times I try to pick recipes that will be easy for them to do at their age. And then I make sure they do the practical skill. In that way, it will be easy for them to repeat those skills when they get home.
There is a lot of restriction on social gathering and events due to the COVID-19 pandemic. How is business in this period for bakers?
People are ordering cakes because most times kids like eating outside. They like buying things from the cafeterias, from canteens. And now that they are at home, they cannot lay their hands on those shops. They still order cakes to eat at home with the family because you can't take sweet things away from children. And children always look up to the date of their birthday, and parents won't want them to have a birthday without a cake. Even if it's a small size cake, they are ordering, but it couldn't be as big as it would be at the normal time, but they still have a cake to cut for their birthday. It's been normal to me.
You're making for us a geometric pattern cake. And I've seen the design. It looks like it comes with a lot of pattern, a lot of details. What inspired you to make this type of cake? And on what occasion do people order for this type of cake?
Actually, the cake has a lot of details, and I'm someone who likes to make cakes that have lots of details in them because it will actually bring out the creativity in you. The cake can be used to celebrate an Eid occasion. It's actually a geometric cake, but the pattern is an Islamic pattern cake too. You could use them to celebrate Eid and then, or to mark an occasion, an opening ceremony in a mosque, or some other Islamic functions too.
Tell me about what you're going to be using to achieve all the intricate patterns on this design.
We have edible prints, then we have molds, we have the gold highlighter. You need a shaped pan to actually achieve that particular shape too.
What would be your advice for bakers out there today? How should they conduct business in this period? And also in terms of keeping hygiene and keeping the treats and cakes they make safe for consumers.
Bakers need to step up with hygiene practices because it's you are making something which is a consumable good, and consumables are actually supposed to be made under hygiene environment. But at this time, they should really take it seriously. They should ensure they wash their hands regularly. You should keep your surfaces and environment very clean. They should keep their machines and other utensils used very clean. You should also take transfers and not cash at this period, so you don't have hand contact with your customers, except on cases where transfers cannot be made. I would advise delivery at this point, where your delivery agent would sanitize properly and drop for them, so you would minimize the number of customers that come to have direct contact with you.
Thank you so much. It's truly an inspiring conversation.
Thank you too.
That was our conversation with the CEO of Cravings and Bite, Mrs. Hadiza Yaman Abdulkadir. But before we go back to decorate our cake, we have Baker's Gist on the lineup for you. Please enjoy it.
Just the way we've been we've been reminded on a constant basis, on a daily basis, of all the safety measures we need to put in place. The bakers are also inclusive, for them to keep to those safety measures. Safety measures that we're talking about: the washing of hands, the physical, or we call it social or physical distancing, that we need to put in place, and then the wearing of our masks when we need to go out. Take, for example, bakers, they need to go and buy their products, maybe in the market. The marketplaces are crowded, so they need to put on their mask in order to protect themselves from being infected. We're talking about community infection these days, so that will now curb them from having any infection that they might even take home to where they are, or even to their offices where they need to do their work. While you are doing your baking, or while you are preparing your dough, or whatever you are preparing in order to continue with what you are doing, at times you have a helper that will want to help you. We are talking about physical distancing this time around. We'll say between 1.5 meters or 2 meters away. Just the way me and you are sitting down now. I'm not using my mask because the coronavirus, as we said, is a droplet infection. It can't go beyond that. So when I'm talking now, or I happen to, I'm talking to you, if there's any droplets, it falls. It doesn't go beyond that distance. So I can afford not to use my mask. But when you have a helper helping you, the person is close to you, you have to put on your mask. At times, people might react to maybe the flour or whatever material you are using, and then want to sneeze or cough or something. We should always remember, just the way we've been told, you sneeze or cough into your elbow, because we are talking about the virus on our hands. By the time you finish all your work and you've packaged everything you do, you finish baking and everything, you still wash your hands, you carry your cake, you put in, you package it. The person that is even going to collect that from you also need to wash hands in this period. You wash your hands, you dry it before you carry. The measures they can put in when customers are coming. Some people might put a sort of marking from where the customer service area is and where the person that will come and collect your delivery, where the person will be, at least a meter difference. Maybe they will have to construct whatever, that type of table and delivery box that they normally stay in. Where you put your thing, you can easily push, the person can long the hand and pick. So, no, that contact is still a way. You carry your goods and you go. If you are calling in a delivery person to come and collect, same thing. The distance, we still have to maintain that distance.
Our hexagon-shaped cake is out of the oven. We will need to cover it with fondant. But before we do that, we'll crumb coat our cake with butter icing to enable the fondant stay on the body of the cake. So you apply butter icing and spread it over all around the cake. You would apply butter icing on the other layer too. Now we roll our fondant. We set this aside and roll our fondant for cover. Take off the excess fondant. And smoking your cake once a week. To stack a 2-tier cake, you need to dough the base layer. You insert a dough rod. You make a mark on your dough rod, and then you bring it out and cut. And insert the dough. After dough, you can now add up your top tier. Most times I use a paper plate underneath so you could hold your cake and your hand will not sink into the cake. Or you could use a stacking board, then you place. To make a geometric pattern cake, we actually need our geometric pattern. You could download it from an internet, you pick your desired pattern and have it printed out on edible sheet. Be careful not to apply excess glue, as that will wet the paper. Then you attach the paper to it. And then you cut this out neatly. Excess fondant. You end up having this with your fondant at the back, which you would attach to the cake. You apply glue to the surface where you would attach the pattern. Then you attach your pattern. You continue this process until all sides are covered. You want to cover the topmost tier of the cake. Roll out our fondant. We will continue with the decoration of our cake. You add the topmost part. We'll start with the base pattern. We'll attach a glue as usual. To have the shiny gold effect, you need an edible spirit and a gold highlighter. We are done with our geometric pattern cake. I'm sure you all love the designs.
Wow, this is such a beautiful cake. I love it. Well done. In fact, you know, when she was doing this cake, every time I think she's through, she keeps adding another layer, adding another pattern. It's just beautiful. Don't you agree? But you know, despite everything, we still must taste this cake and see how it tastes inside. So let's have it. Fantastic, fantastic. This is just delicious. You know, even the red marble on it is very beautiful. I love it. Well done once again. I'm sure you've learned one or two things from our baker's creativity. That's what we have for you today on Baker's World. Till next week, when we come your way with a more exciting episode of Baker's World, you can reach us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's Baker's World on NTA. Till next week, my name is Funke Oyele. Thanks for watching.